Good evening, everybody. I've been welcome back to my channel once again. Today, we want to discuss a topic wey dey a bit different from the things we don dey discuss for the past all the videos we una dey watch. This time, wetin we wan discuss na how to study effectively and get good grades. E dey very important. Many times, we dey see say students go dey struggle. They dey read, and no be say they no dey read hard, but the grades wey they go dey get at the end of the day, e dey show say those grades no dey bring forth the amount of effort wey they don put into their studies. So at the end of the day, person wey study for a long time come notice say im grades no too dey okay. I come realize say no, e dey important to follow students discuss say wetin be the ways wey person fit study dey very effective for im study, such that at the end of the day, the grades wey the person go dey get, e go dey match up, e go dey show up with the amount of effort wey the person don put into im studies and all of that. Now, before we go into those steps, e dey very important to understand four major things. These four things no be the steps wey we dey talk, but those four things dey very important. The first thing na reading. Shey you fit read? E dey very important. You fit read? You sabi read? This one dey very very important. The alphabets, you know them. If you know the alphabets, words, shey you sabi words? If you dey put alphabets together to form words, you dey understand wetin those words mean? You know wetin the words mean? E dey very important. Anybody wey wan pass must know how to read, know words, know wetin those words mean, and if you dey read them, understand wetin the words mean. Now, after that reading, the next thing na comprehension. To understand. Shey you dey understand wetin you dey read? If I carry material give you now, and that material bin get 3, 4, 5 paragraphs, if you read all those paragraphs finish, shey you dey fit understand wetin you read? Say okay, this thing wey I read na wetin e mean be this. Or if I read the material on rate of chemical reaction for chemistry, for example, I fit know say okay, these 3 paragraphs wey I read, na wetin these paragraphs dey talk be this. That one dey very important. So reading dey important. If you read, shey you dey comprehend wetin you dey read? Comprehension na the second thing, e dey very important. Now, reading dey, comprehension dey. The third thing na re ten tion. As you don comprehend now, shey you dey retain those things for your mind? Those things bin dey your mind? Shey as you read am, as you understand am, if person ask you at that time, shey you fit explain am to the person? Shey you fit engage the person, tell the person say okay, this thing wey I read na so so thing I read, and na wetin be the meaning of all these things wey I read? Shey you fit do am? That one dey very very important. Now, if you pass re ten tion, the most important thing wey me I think for the whole issue na recall. Recall dey very very important. And wetin recall be? All those information wey you don put for your mind, for your brain, shey you dey fit recall am? If you enter into the exam hall, shey you dey fit remember? That one dey very very important, because most of the time you go see say students dey go study, work hard, but na for that recall they dey get problem. They dey get problem for recall, because if they enter exam hall now, they no go remember all the things wey they don study. And that one na because say this our memory, this our mind wey we get, e get many sections, but 2 major sections dey there. E get wetin oyibo man dey call short term memory, and e get the one wey dey call long term memory. Now, if you dey read newspaper, dey read story book, dey read funny things, all those things, you dey store that information for your short term memory, because you know say nobody dey come ask you tomorrow, nobody dey come set exam for you tomorrow about those materials. So you no dey put too much importance into the reading of those materials. But if na your textbook, if na your notebook, if na JAMB series, something wey you know say yes, so in 3 months time, in 4 months time, person go set exam come ask me all these things, you need to gather that information, put am for your long term memory. E dey important, because if you put am for your short term memory, if you forget, if you reach inside the exam hall, you no go fit remember. Now, wetin be the steps wey I feel say you suppose take to fit study well? Now, make I warn you from the beginning say these steps na the steps wey me I use. I no talk say they be the only step wey person fit use study. Remember say people dey different. Everybody dey different, and everybody get different method. And no be only one way to do anything. Different ways dey to do one thing wey be say they go still give the same result. Some go fit give better result than the other. So wetin I dey talk na say this method na my method. No be the only method. You fit try another method. Other people fit get other methods wey dey work for them. But this one na my method, and I been think say owing to the fact that me I don go primary school, secondary school, university, postgraduate level, I don do many exams for primary, secondary, at masters level, undergraduate level, PhD level. I don do many exams. So I get experience and I don't pass many exams, I don't fail many exams. So I understand wetin I dey talk. So this one na my method. I wan just put that one out there. Now the first thing na to set clear goals. You need to get a goal. If you dey for university, you dey for secondary school, wetin you wan get? Shey na first class, shey na second class? This thing go determine, this goal go determine how much effort you go put for your study. Person wey wan get first class and person wey wan get second class, na different effort dey go put for their study. Person wey feel say third class dey okay for am, im no wan stress im mind, e get the kind effort wey im go put for im study. So you need to set that goal for yourself. Ask yourself, wetin I wan get from this my study? Wetin be my goal? Wetin be my aim? That one go determine, no be me go set your goal for you. You need to set your goal by yourself, determine, okay, wetin I wan get out of this thing, na im go determine how much effort I go put. Now the second thing na say you need to create study schedule. As you be person, you need to sit down with yourself. One philosopher talk say, man, know yourself. You need to sit down with yourself, ask yourself, say, which kind person I be? Shall I prefer to dey study for night? Abi I prefer to dey study for evening? And then you need to design timetable. You know, say, okay, wetin I wan study? Wetin be the subjects wey I go dey study? How I go take dey study these subjects? Shey na 2 hours per day? Abi na 3 hours per day? Shey na Monday to Friday I go dey read? Wetin I wan dey do? You need to set that schedule. And no be to only set am, you need to get the discipline to make sure say this schedule wey you set, you follow am very strictly and very tightly. E dey very important. No be only to just set this schedule, na to follow am very strictly and in a disciplined manner. So you know wetin you don know yourself. Shey na for night you wan dey read? Wetin be the subjects wey you wan read and how you wan take dey read am? How many time, how many hours, how many days? This one dey very important and we must put that to mind. Now the third thing dey important too. You need to organize your space and eliminate distraction. Too many people dey distracted. Their phone dey distract them. Too many things dey distract them. They dey read, dey hear music, they dey read, dey watch TV, they dey read all sorts of things, and these things they no go work. Na my experience be that. Some people talk say you fit dey lis ten to music dey read. Me, I no know as you dey take dey lis ten to music dey read, because the lyrics of the music go dey enter your ear and you go wan dey sing along. You don forget wetin you dey read be that. So eliminate distraction. Get chair wey dey okay, table wey dey okay. If your bed dey comfortable for you and you know say you no go sleep off, you fit read for your bed. Get a place wey dey comfortable, stay for that place. Eliminate distraction. Your phone, either you go put am for airplane mode or you go remove your data, the off data for your phone. Or simple thing, if say maybe you dey expect important lis ten, take your phone like this and put the face down. Make sure say you no dey fit see the face. So all those lights wey dey blink and all those notifications, you no go see am. These things dey important so that you go dedicate, if na 30 minutes, if na 40 minutes, you go dedicate am to your study. E dey very important. Now the next step na say you suppose dey take breaks. Human mind e get at ten tion span. So if you study for 30 minutes, study for 40 minutes, you go tire small. You need to take break, stand up, go waka 10 minutes, go discuss 5 minutes, go, maybe if you even press your phone 5 minutes, if you know say that phone no go carry you go another 1 hour distraction. 10 minutes, walk around, drink water, relax, come back again, come study another 30-40 minutes, go back, take another 10 minutes break. Na so you go dey do am like that till you go reach your 3 hours or 2 hours wey you been design say you go use study. Take breaks, e dey important. Now the fifth step na say don't just read, study. Reading and studying na two different things. And now I wan enter the nitty-gritty of the matter wey we go take understand. Now if you get material wey you wan read, let's say that material na 3 or 4 paragraphs or 3 or 4 pages wey you wan read. Now the first thing wey you go do na wetin we dey call skim reading. And wetin be skim reading? You go just speedily read that material. If na 3 pages, you go read am fast in 2-5 minutes. You don read the whole thing. Now wetin this one dey for? The idea behind skim reading na say e go first give you an idea of the whole material wey you wan read. Wetin I wan read? Okay, rate of chemical reaction for chemistry na wetin I wan read. You quickly skim read am, look at everything. Wetin be the major headings wey dey there? You don look through everything. Now that skim reading, one, e go help you know the volume, the amount of material wey you wan read. One. Secondly, from that skim reading, you go don see the places wey dey difficult for that material wey you wan read. You go don see the places wey dey easy. Now the next thing wey you go do na those places wey dey easy, go concentrate a bit for there, read a lot for the places wey dey easy. E go give you confidence because you go begin dey understand that topic small for the easy parts. If you read am finish, come go the hard place, go dey read those hard parts too. As you don get knowledge for the easier part, you go transfer that knowledge to the hard part. You go begin dey understand the hard part better than if you rush go dey read those hard parts. So the easy parts you go read am first. After, you go graduate to the hard parts, go read those parts, and you go read am slowly. Na wetin studying be that. You go read am gently, to try understand. As you dey read, you dey try understand. Now if you read, no be say you go read rush come stand up dey go, no. As you dey read, you go carry jotter wey dey plain for your side, take your biro or your pencil. Wetin you go dey do na say if you read one or two paragraphs, you go close that book. If you close that book, you go try recall, bring out from your memory everything wey you don read for those 2 or 3 paragraphs. You go jot am down. E dey very important. If you jot am down finish, you go take your jotting, take your textbook or whatever material you dey read, you go skim read both materials wey dey for your hand now, the one wey you jot and the one wey be say na the original material wey you dey read. You go skim read both of them. You go see how much of the information wey dey here you fit retain, how much of that information dey your brain wey you fit put down for this material. E dey very important. If you notice say you no dey put down much for your jotting, e mean say you no really grab much from the material wey you read. But if you put down much in your jotting, e mean say you don gather quite a number, as in a lot of knowledge from this material wey you read. Dat na the method to use to know, to test your brain whether you dey recall wetin you dey read. This thing dey very important, and you go dey jot am down as you dey read dey go. If you no do am like that, my brother, you go just read. If you stand up, if they ask you in 10 minutes say wetin you read, you no go remember. You no go, because you no train your brain to recall that information. No be to just read it, no be to just retain it. You need to be able to recall that information out of your brain. Now the next step na to be creative. If you dey read, dey look reading like or studying like person wey dey go war. You need to dey creative. You no get any subject wey no get some hard portions. So those hard portions, you need to dey creative. Maybe na formula for mathematics or na pathway for biochemistry. These things dey difficult. There is no trick to it. E dey difficult. You need to be creative. And some of those creativity, if e mean say e fit be acronym, you fit gather words together to take remember that difficult part. So you fit use acronym, you fit use many other different methods dey wey you fit use. E fit be rhymes, e fit be song, e fit be one or two things, but use creativity. E fit be visual art, e fit be picture, but you need to be creative. E fit be say you need to draw that thing. If say na diagram, for an example, you need to draw am many times if you dey plan to remember am for exam hall. If you draw am once, leave am run go exam, you no go remember am, no be lie. So you need to dey creative, dey very creative as you dey read. Look at that reading as war. You must engage your brain, use many methods to make sure say you distill all this material and keep am for your head. Now keep a large jotter. That's the next step. Always have a large jotter. So this your note. We don come realize say through our years of studying and reading, we realize say every big textbook, you fit distill, gather all the information wey dey that big textbook, put am for small jotter. Because textbook go dey give example, go dey talk many wey we no send them, go dey write, put pictures and many things. E dey okay. Na for illustration, na to make us understand better. But the koko wey dey the material no be many things. That one na you suppose put for your jotter. So you suppose get jotter wey you dey jot all this information together. Rate of chemical reaction, I read am today, Tuesday. I jot down many things for that my jotter. Another day wey I still read that rate of chemical reaction, I jot am down. All those things I dey retain am for my brain. And wetin I dey do sef that time na say, if you dey get towards your exam period, you no need to dey read all those large notes or dey read your textbook. No be time for textbook. Na those jottings wey you don jot over the weeks, wey be say all those information you don distill am into small notes for your jotter. Na you go read through. As you dey read through, because the thing dey your brain, you don retain am already. You go dey understand say okay, this na this thing. Oh, the factors na 8. All these factors na them be this. You go remember, and if you enter exam hall, no, there's no way you go remember 80 to 90% of the things wey you don read, because you don train your brain to recall that information wey you put for brain. If you no train am, your brain no go dey recall, and you enter exam hall, you notice say you read 30 hours, but you enter exam and you no fit remember. E dey very important. The next thing na to stay healthy. E dey important to stay very healthy. If you be person wey dey flex, wey dey drink alcohol, I no get quarrel with you, but anytime wey you wan read, try do away with all those things. If you dey smoke only or anything wey you dey do, once time for reading don come, put away all those things and try to focus on the reading. Because the truth na say, if you take all those things at the time wey you wan read, you no go fit read, you no go fit retain information. Na the truth wey dey there be that. So anytime wey you wan read, put away all those things. Eat healthy, drink water very well, eat good food, eat fruits. All these things, they will help your brain to dey sharp, and you go fit do wetin you wan do. Now the last step here na to pray. E dey important to pray. Me, I be Seventh-day Adventist Christian, and I believe in prayer. And every other person wey dey go every religion, they pray. So prayer dey important because if you read, if you study, you come for exam day, you fall sick, you no fit write anything, you can't fail. Who can't lose at the end of the day? Some people know they believe in prayer, na their own be that. But if you believe in prayer, whatever religion you dey practice, abeg pray. E dey very important. So if I run through all these steps, e dey very important for us to know. The steps na say you go set clear goal and aim, know wetin you wan do, create study schedule, get timetable, know when you go dey read, the time wey you go dey read, how much material you wan read, organize your study space, remove distraction, no allow distraction to dey worry you, take breaks. If you dey read, you dey take break, then study, jot, keep all those information together. Then you need to dey creative. If you see something wey difficult, look for creative way wey you go take remember am. Then keep jotting, always get large jottings wey be say all the materials wey you dey learn, you dey distill all those information into your jotter. E dey important. Stay healthy and also pray. These na the steps and e dey very important. Now I just wan add some 2 or 3 little tips for you wey fit help you to find friend, person wey you fit dey read together with. If you know say you fit get a friend wey no go dey distract you, wey una fit dey read together, dey encourage each other, una fit read 4 or 5 hours together, get that kind of friend wey una dey read together. E dey important. Sometimes too, e fit be study group, e fit be 4 or 5 people wey be say una get the same goals, maybe una dey the same course, or una be friends, abi una be roommates. Una fit gather una self together, dey read, dey push una self. If you see person wey dey read, you sef no go wan sleep, you go push yourself, you go dey read. This one dey very important. The next thing, the last thing na, e dey good also to watch tutorial videos, like these videos wey I dey put out. You know, if you see concept wey dey difficult, you fit read and you know to understand, and you fit go watch tutorial video, understand, say okay, this man don explain, this na wetin this concept dey talk. E dey very important. So thank you very much for listening to all these things. I hope say this one will help us for our study. Have a wonderful evening.